Now, what I guess Activision is really worried about is, or Activision Blizzard, I should say, is Warcraft, World of Warcraft. They announced that they have lost, I think, I don't know if it must have been the last year, 1.3 million users. So they're only up to 8 million subscribers now. So they're only, although, I think anybody smart enough to figure out that 8 million people are still paying $15 a month, the profits they're making are still gargantuan. So, um, I wouldn't worry about it too much. And I mean, it's not really a shock. The other idea that's gone through is, are they going to go to what other games like Old Republic have been doing, and any other like MMO that used to be a subscription kind of deal? They go to free to play, and to be honest, you know they should, and they should soon, because if they don't, they could be gone just like that. It could be gone in an instant. Because I mean, you can keep releasing expansion packs for it, but at the end of the day, like at some point, somebody who has been with this game for years and years is going to say, "I'm not doing this anymore, or I'm not doing it nearly as much as I used to. Why am I still paying so much money per month? Like, you're paying double the cost to run Netflix. And what can you do with Netflix? You can pretty much watch anything. What can you do in Warcraft? The same stuff that you've been doing for the last 5 years? There's only so much you can do. Even if it's a massive, multiplayer game, like there's only so much you can do. So you have to wonder if at some point they're going to have to go free to play. And I think at this point, it's almost fair to say that subscription fees and that kind of stuff, like it's pretty much almost dead when it comes to MMORPGs. I mean, think about how well Guild Wars 2 did when it came out, and that was a game that did not require a monthly fee. I think, companies are starting to realize at this point that microtransactions and that kind of stuff, fair microtransactions, I mean, like not giving you power, that kind of stuff, but that kind of model is what's working now. And especially with the games that are completely free that you can just download, and then, you know, if you want to put money into it, that's for items and stuff. So, or even customizable stuff like clothes and that kind of deal. Like, that kind of thing is easily the future and pretty much has become the present, because, we're at the age now where there's so many other options out there that what's the point of paying a fee just to play a game when you've already paid for the game? It's what I never understood. I never understood when I got Final Fantasy 11 for the first time, and I lasted a month on it because I realized, even as a kid, I realized that how stupid is it that I've already bought this game and now I'm paying just to play it still. It's, and that's why when the original Guild Wars came out, I got hooked on that, because you bought it and then you didn't have to worry about it. You just kept going. You know, you didn't have to think about, I'm gonna have to get my mom to, get the credit card out. I mean, now I don't have to worry about that. But to think that back then, like you would pay like whatever the price was, 40, 50, $60, and you have the disc in your hand, and when you pop it in, you can't play it until you give them more money. It's a little absurd when you think about it. It's something that I've never understood with MMORPGs. I've never understood where they get the idea of, making their customers pay as much as they do just for the hard copy, and then saying, well, that's not enough. You're going to have to give us this much a month. I mean, like, your people are paying more for Warcraft per month than we do for Xbox Live in a year. And that's for how many games? So I've never understood that model, and I've never understood how people are still putting up with it. It's such a draconian method now. $15 a month? $15. You know what I could do with, well, let's do the math. That's $180 a year. You know what I could do with $180 a year? I could buy 3 more games. It doesn't make sense now. So I really do hope that, to keep the game going, because you never want to see a game shut down. I mean, EverQuest, for God's sakes, is still going. I mean, you don't want to ever see a game shut down, and especially not something with the Legend of World of Warcraft. So I hope that very soon they decide to go with this method and go free to play, and if anything, just keep more microtransactions in there to keep people going. I mean, there is the glorified demo that is playing up to level 20 before you have to, have the full game going. But I mean, you gotta after you've made so much money off that game. Like I think it's time that you kind of cooled it off. You got other things you can do, and it's not fair to your customers who have been there since the beginning that they've spent. Like I can't imagine the guy who's been playing this since it came out. He spent over $1,000 on the game. $1,000, $1,000 on one game. $1,000. You know, it makes no sense. So I really do hope they go with this method, and I really hope that they stop you know taking money from their customers who have been so loyal to them over the years.